That was the most perfect fade out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I know everybody's loving the bar, but thank you all for coming to the Cafe Gallery. Hello, everybody. Hi. I know, everybody's like, I'd rather sit there and drink. Hi. Hello. I'm not sitting here trying to do stuff because, it's just getting to that time of the year where it's just getting to that crappy weather. It's like people will show up, and I know
it's going to be 57 Friday.
I know, it's supposed to be warm in a day or two, and I'm like, it's going to happen all over again. Yay-ish. Because it's just going to disappear, and it's going to be crappy cold weather. I know better. We all know better. We just don't like to admit it. But I have to say we have a phenomenal, I honestly say phenomenal feature. I love this installation for our Poetry Open Mic. Please go down for a feature for Patrick Hurley. Come on, everybody. And I'm sitting here like an idiot clapping with this bag that was held liquor, but now it's just going to hold our life savings. So what money do I have? I'm going to put something in, and I'm going to pass it to my handy dandy wonderful sidekick first. Bouncer! Woo! Ha! And pass it around and everybody give you a life savings. No, you should say good throw, because I'm not really good at that stuff. If I could actually throw it at somebody, you could probably catch it. To see how I go. But thank you all very much for coming by. I know more people are coming out as the evening strolls along because everyone's like, I want to be able to settle in before heading out. And so, what I was going to do for starting this open mic was something I didn't anticipate doing until this morning. Because I am running, and I feel like I need to say something about the election because I'm bothering to wear, a button for fictional characters for voting for who should become president. But anyway, because in 2 weeks, right before Thanksgiving, I am the feature here at the Cafe Gallery. I was going to be reading pieces, and people have actually requested stuff from the periodic table of poetry. Now, I had said I'm not going to read the same pieces again. I'm only going to read them at features. But just to be able to try to pull people in for the idea, I was going to read a piece or two from past features that I had done for different elements that I would pick. And this first one was done at the Poetry Bomb in April of this year while I was, standing outside train tracks because they were kicking us out of places. But this piece, how's everybody doing over there? Everybody talking? This piece is number 6 in the periodic table. This one is called Carbon. I used to see the magazine ads with the TV commercials. All I was taught was that the big busted blonde was all I could aspire to be. So I would dye my hair. I would act the dumb blonde. I could still beat them at any mind games, but men don't like the truth shoved in their faces because they refuse to believe anything that doesn't stroke their ego. So yeah, I was a carbon copy of what the media shoved down America's throats. And yeah, as time went on, dark-haired women started to gain some popularity back, but they still had to be anorexically thin, and they still had a battle with the notion that all men still adored the dumb blonde. And yeah, as the years wore on, I didn't have to dye my hair, but I still had to be thin, and I still had to be that carbon copy of the dark-haired, gaunt, soulless faces plastered on billboards, papers, and screens. I passed the magazine stands, see carbon copies of the models on multiple magazine covers. I passed the media store with rows and stacks of repeated TV screens showing carbon copies to the world of what we are supposed to be. I don't want to be a carbon copy of anything. I want my own thoughts, my own ideas, and I want to spill them out to the entire world so they can read them and hear them. But carbon copy or not, I end up resigned, knowing that despite our differences, we are all carbon-based life forms. I mean, when scientists look for life on other planets, they always only look for water first. Well, sure, hydrogen, oxygen, life as we know it needs it, I get it. But carbon-based life forms are all we know. I mean, whether or not we have arms or legs or gills or a mouth or a brain, they all have carbon in common. So when I see the atrocities mankind causes, when I see Adolf Hitler, the vegetarian artist wannabe, when I see Adolf Hitler collect his cult followers to systematically slaughter millions, when I see the stacks of the skin and bone emaciation, stacks of bodies in dishes or in rooms, stacked in a pyramid to that small hole for air at the ceiling after their final shower. When I see the Pope visiting Cuba and wearing a sombrero. When I see chickens crammed into rows of cages they cannot move in for their eggs, for their flesh. And when I see the rows of pre-packaged, barely recognizable cow flesh wrapped in cellophane, row after row in the grocery store, it is then I have to remember that despite everything, and as much as I hate to admit it, we are not all that different. I mean, if nothing else, we're all carbon-based life forms. Thank you. I've never read a periodic table poem yet. No, I hadn't. I was only doing ones for for features. And I've got a feature in 2 weeks, and I will do once here, but I'm not going to do as I did before. And although the Bobster heard this one and another feature, this one...
You're going to do all my requests, right?
Well, I was thinking I would do Oxygen, which... does anybody have requests? I will give you guys a preference. I've got Oxygen, which is number 8 in the periodic table, which I read at Beach Poets. Or I've got Uranium, which is number, 97? I can't even remember the number because I don't have it on me. Uranium, which I did at... I've been writing things for the periodic table. Or Uranium, which I read at Perla Cafe in Evanston. Does anybody have a preference? Should I have Oxygen or should I have Uranium? How about that? I'll take a poll. Anybody? Anybody? Oh, nobody has an opinion?
Oxygen.
He says... What did you say?
Lithium.
I don't happen to have lithium on me, although I've read it, and I read it in another one, but it's in my folder. But I can read that later if you beg for it. I can read lithium for you. But somebody said oxygen, not uranium, so I will not do uranium. This is oxygen. I actually like this piece. I hope you guys too do as well. This one is oxygen. I'm looking for the... I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Sorry, you can read that one again.
No, I said the last 2 pages are all out of order. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Oxygen, number 8. In the South Pacific Ocean, I held my breath, plunged in, and swam deeper into the water to get closer to the schools of white-tipped sharks huddled at the bottom of the ocean. With my flippers, I pushed myself deeper into the water. The now useless snorkel was my only reminder of air as I kept going, with only my mask for navigation. Though the moving sand didn't entirely obstruct the water, the sun grew less intense the farther I traveled. Just remember to not get too close to the sharks, I had to keep reminding myself. I almost froze when I spotted the stingray. They work so hard to avoid being seen so they can surprise their prey and have their next meal. I spotted it, and it made me stop. It surprised me that I had come this far, and nothing but a little water separated me from animals that could seal my fate. I stared for a while, then realized that I needed to get some air, so I turned toward the light. I had been underwater so long that the oxygen was pulled from the muscles, and I didn't have the energy to kick. I panicked. When you become acutely aware of your desperate need for air, your body plays tricks on you. I forgot about looking back at the sharks and the stingray below. I even forgot about the sea lions and the lion seals above. I'll deal with whatever's on the surface once I get there. Now, get yourself to kick. Think. You can do it. Push. I managed to kick my legs once and started to move my way through the water. I hoped momentum would keep me going, but nothing was fast enough any longer. You can do this, I thought. Push again. I pushed, I moved, but the surface still seemed miles away. Now, I know there's as much hydrogen around me, twice as much hydrogen around me as oxygen, but oxygen is so much bigger than hydrogen. Oxygen is the most abundant chemical element by mass in our biosphere, in our air, sea, and land, but I can't get to the oxygen in this water. This can't be the death of me. My chest started to tighten. My chest started burning like someone lit a match, and the last oxygen in my body was setting my lungs on fire. I clenched my teeth tighter around that snorkel mouthpiece. I know I couldn't breathe yet, but I couldn't let this piece go free and possibly move my mask while I was trying to save myself. Come on, I thought. Your legs are strong. You can do this. So I pushed again. I kicked until I could see a few people trying to swim toward me. I tried to keep moving until someone threw their arm around my waist. I hoped they would be able to breathe for the both of us until we broke the surface. I remember feeling wet sand being pushed along my skin as they dragged me out of the water until they let me lay on my side so I could cough. I had no water in me, but I had to do anything I could to get myself oxygen again. Once I was able to breathe comfortably again, I tried to think of my breathing. I know I can't get oxygen toxicity by breathing too deeply. Take a deep breath. Get the oxygen to my blood. Your toes are tingling. Inhale deeply. Now imagine your oxygenated blood rushing to your feet. The oxygen is to your brain now. Keep thinking, mentally pushing the oxygen through your body. When I got back inside that evening, they had started a fire in the fireplace for me. And I thought, how fitting. I was stuck in that water with all that hydrogen and oxygen until I could have some oxygen to breathe again. We are over half water as it is, meaning that the majority of our mass is oxygen. And there I was, now at a roaring fireplace with oxygen fueling the fire. It's funny how on this one day, a basic element like oxygen could help me go to places where I've never been before, could warm me up at the end of the day, and could show me, in its absence, how crucial it was everywhere in my life. Thank you. I am done for now, done with my poems. And if even this is not like going yay, see me in 2 weeks, but if you got nothing going on the day before Thanksgiving, come on by and I'll have more that you've never heard before, I swear. And some nifty ones as well. But I believe, although I see her in the distance, my love, I'm gonna, oh yeah, I'm looking at you, my lady. Please give it up for Annabelle Echo. Come on up here, honey. Yay! Bring your food. Sure, here, get a surface. Whatever works.
I know, I wasn't supposed to bring anything, but this is a new thing.
This is
something
This is a new thing. It's
Oh.
not the same as this one.
We got peppermint.
These are even better to me.
Everybody's gonna have to have some peppermint. Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
This is a
these
treat
are
for
to
everyone.
die for, I'm
Thank you,
telling
thank you,
you.
thank you. And everybody's got the peppermint. Yay, yay. As long as you're not diabetic, you're getting some. Well, they're yours.
Okay, I'll just tell a short anecdote. This isn't scripted. I had jury duty, and luckily I got assigned. Yeah, I try to get out of it because they send me to a place called Your Hoods, like 2 hours in Siberia, 2 hours away from my house. But this time they sent me to the Daily Center, so no problem. And it was Halloween, so some guy had the guts to bring in a fake, an arm coming out of a rolling suitcase, a fake dead body. And the cops there, I guess they're county sheriffs, they're like, so. But that was interesting. Okay. And I was so stunned I didn't take a picture. You'll just have to take my word for it. Is it okay for me to bend this like this?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Ides of March. Please have a pencil and paper ready. Did you catch that? Folks, please, it's not going to happen. Folks, the elite know what they're doing. Everything has already been decided behind closed doors. This is super powerful. 30 years ago, Mr. X began to leak this intel only once a year. Please, everybody in the listening audience, I beg of you to listen to my concern. May I say that we must take immediate action. America as we know it today is doomed. You have a time frame right now, a window of opportunity right now this minute. You are going to find it amazing. By the end of 2012, the dollar will be dead. First of all, do not pay any attention to the New York stock market. It means nothing. It is not an indicator of anything. I do not say the dollar would be non-existent, and you need to understand this. And again, please have that pencil and paper ready, handy, and write these things down. Put them beside your calendar. Okay. 12 steps to prepare. Now, the first thing on my list, I beg you, you must prepare for the inevitable plunge protection team. Secondly, you need cash. Mark my words, you need to make preparations. Next, 401ks. Oh my goodness. You notice I'm not the youngest gal in the world, or the room. I have been told that when the dust has settled, you positively must have a roof over your head. The name of the game is control. I've been saying this for 35 years. Did you catch that? We are live. There is no future. Thank you.
Hey, what about the other 10 steps?
You're not reading anymore? What?
Well, I can read one more.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on. I don't want it.
Yeah, but this one everyone's heard, I think. But for some reason, this is my favorite poem that I wrote. Okay.
Well, you have to have some.
Okay, I will.
They're really good.
Oh, these are fun. And they're white chocolate,
I
so
know.
they're just
They're
pure
white chocolate?
fat and
Yes.
sugar and mint.
Isn't it buttermilk?
It's white chocolate. It's a different part. That's not actually the chocolate part, but it's from the chocolate plant.
It's
It's the fat.
more
Yeah.
fat, but it still tastes good with the
But
peppermint.
it's still no meat of me. Yeah.
Okay. Punish 69. Okay. And this is based actually on a dream I had. Strange enough. In 1969, Jane Fonda totaled her Honda N600. Before the accident, the sedan was 10 feet long and weighed 1,300 pounds. In 2005, John Foster of Henderson, Nevada, restored it to full moon blue. Look on the door jamb to locate the auto paint code. Its original two-cylinder, 36 horsepower, 36 cubic inch motorcycle engine was replaced with a Mustang 385 V8 Triton. The weather-worn and mangled vehicle tags found in a remote chasm at the bottom of the crash site were reattached to the vehicle. They read, quotation marks, P-U-N-I-S-H, unquote. Punish.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for the white chocolate. You're so double plus awesome. And I'm going to have to call out my handy dandy ultra wonderful sidekick, Mr. Roberto Rascal. Bob Rascal, get that up here!
I'm going to do a few. This is my secret word poem from the Poetry Pentathlon that I participated in for the first time this year. The secret word was pyramids. I took Marcone's advice and went walking in Memphis. The peal of blues greeted me along Beale, set me reeling for a spell. It can get pretty damn lonely at the bottom. I noticed the pangs of blight from many sides. Youthful guitar students swept the streets and spoke of fleeing to points east or north, while in the distance it glimmered, like a golden sun god. The mighty Sippy caught its towering reflection. I walked over to stare at it for a few moments, my eyes ascending to the top, contemplating a future I will never see. Then abruptly I spun around and found my way back to the modern era, ordered an Elvis burger and a Coke, and consulted the city map to try and find places that hold more scaled-down structures.
You did really well in the pentathlon, if you don't mind me saying so.
Oh, thanks, GPA.
You're quite welcome.
The poetic unsub is here.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, this is from Chicago Calling 2012, and then I'll read one from Chicago Calling 2011, and then I'll read one from Chicago Calling 2009, and then I'll stop. Because I know GPA has a 2-poem limit, and we don't want to go, no, I'm just All right, this is called Inside 7, and it's based on Tony Renner's artwork. Tony Renner's in St. Louis, Missouri. Cubicle, cubicle, taffy ice boardwalk. Find the greeter, insert the coins. The airspace is your guide. Adjust your life suit. Proceed forward to soft white blobs. Continue through until you reach the pinwheel signal. It's for you to end your time, complete all changes, reclaim your pennies, await further instructions, and be ready for base 8. Thank you. last year's Chicago Calling. I have from Orrin Buck, Light Dreams Blue. On a journey, I came from something. Don't know where I'm headed, but it looks like someplace. Green, 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 then blue, yellow, purple, black, gray. My mind is assaulted by scattered photographs, pictures of something I must have come from, but what will it all lead to? At times it looks as though the pictures all meld into one, and for just a split moment I can see my destination, my time. Am I joining those who died before me? Am I waking from a nightmare? Where does the madness end? Does this beauty ever end? Will I come to or just keep on dreaming? Pictures, paintings, stitch, sampler, pamphlets, mad, mad river of life, fading. And finally, once again collaborating with Tony Renner in I think 2009 in Chicago Calling, curated by the lovely Dan Godston. This is from his photographs of urban Baltimore. This is called Halt, Who Goes There? I make a detour of a shortcut and catch a glimpse of something. And I took off my glasses so I could glimpse the poem. Rumbling slow through the barren weeds, at first I think an anteater or a raccoon. Then its head bobs, swells, revealing form of person in denim clad, treading opposite direction, taking sweet time, compassing north, moving nowhere, definite, fading finally, beyond my sight. Thank you very much.
I was like, he's still collecting. I thought, does he have more?
And actually, just so everybody knows, it is the beginning of the month, and I have things from 2 magazines. I was thinking, oh, I'll wait till next week. But one of them is on voting. And so I'm going to have to read them, but I'm not reading them right at this moment, so I'm going to call up my ultra hunk of the evening, please. Give it up for Mr. Michael Hung. Come on up here. By the way, I know I'm featuring in my ultra hung. By the way, in 2 weeks I know I'm featuring because it's right before Thanksgiving, but 2 weeks after that, the first event in December, this is our feature for the night. So everybody has a double plus come out, definitely. So
Michael.
Give it up for Michael Hung. Yeah!
Thanks, Janet. You should be hunky yourself.
I'm a hunk too.
Okay, let me read 2 poems. I'm planning tomorrow. I've counted my steps and soaped my arms. I know how high a fly goes, and I have my roll of parchment paper. I got my 12 wax boxes, 5 have water for dry food, 4 are long for long brushes, 2 are short for short brushes, and 1 is ready for extra knobs. I've picked my grocery cart, and I've got my paper bags, round ones for cans, rectangular for cereal boxes, spherical for spherical fruit, tall for tall fruit. I've got my things counted, my noodles, my drawer pulls, my doorknob twists, the spun circles I'll make on the counter, the broom lines I'll make on the porch. I have my hand maps to track my hands, and here are my feet maps for my feet bearings, so I won't go northwest or accidentally cook corn or wash the ground worms or touch little wood or touch table wood too many times. I've mapped and I've mapped, and the maps are mapped, and here I know the windows aren't ballooning from the wind, and fungus isn't in my lungs, and I have enough corn and orange and coupons and stops, and from my maps I know I have hush here. You fruiting trees, digging in the field, please let me join you. I promise I'll be good. I promise to paper my skin and mill my legs and always grill and smoke and water my mouth. I'll mortise and tenon and 2x4 and always root and never cork and gum. I'll be seasonal and I won't leave a path or take aspirin, and I'll never say brush or plant near a house. Oh, let me be a guy in the field. I'll throw away everything, my heart, my brain, and I'll keep everything. My box of air, the sea under the ocean, my house of smoke. I'll be good. I'll never trim or rake or float or brush or pile, and I'll never build, but only grow. And at night, it won't matter anymore. I promise I'll stand and never sit, and only eat almonds and sweet syrup. Thanks.
I like almonds, but that doesn't apply to anything. I'm just saying I like almonds. Feel relevant, but thank you very much, Michael. And I feel really double plus bad because I've got like, you know, almost as many women as men, and I try to space myself out to be like separating the men out, but.
Do you want to do your voting poem?
Did you just say something about a voting poem?
I said do your voting poem.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I'm here for, because the November issues, yeah, it's in November. I'm looking to make sure the dates. I'm just it's such a blur for the end of the year going on. November issue of John the Dirt version of V112 and the November V238 CC&D magazine. Yes, this was from like the subway here in Chicago, and this was some mountainside in Pennsylvania for him to take all the shots for that. And the only reason why I'm sharing this is because I thought it related to voting, and if anybody loves these fictional characters, you can have a sticker for Galton Reardon. Hey, you can have a sticker for Galton Reardon. You can put on a button if you like.
Ask you, did you get those from Tea Party folks or something?
No, I just happened to see that somewhere, and I'm like, I'm going to print that and put it on there because, you know, it's not like you're going to go mass producing buttons for fictional characters for political office, so. So thank you to John Ragusa, who is a quasi-regular.
I just don't want people to get the wrong idea.
Oh, but of course not. You can use it as a bookmark. Do whatever you like with it. I don't care. It's water soluble, so don't get it wet because it'll all drizzle all beyond belief. But I was actually thinking after the election, people wonder, oh, if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, what do you think? The creation of Earth. Was God thinking of hell when he created this Earth? Hearing the way that Republicans are talking nowadays, they might be wondering about that, honestly. But I wanted to share with you this piece that is actually somebody asked about from Michael Cirillo from the current issue of CC&D magazine called On Voting. I try to reason with the unreasonable. I try to persuade the lazy to work. I vote in every election. Clearly, I like exercises in futility. So, thank you, Michael. Yeah, I figured I would throw a little something related to that, exactly. And I because I'm bringing him out here, this one, some of you may know the name, Joseph Hart. This is a piece which I thought was novel. This is called The Bum. At 2 a.m. or so, just outside of Denny's, slumping on a bench beside the door, hooded, leaning on his knees, he seemed to be asleep and was identical there when I came out. I oddly had $9, I never carry cash with me, and I wanted to give him it for food. I was afraid he maybe wasn't actually hungry, or he preferred to sleep, or he may be mean and angry or totally insane. So I kept my money, walked by, and drove away. That was several days ago, and I'm still thinking of it. I like pieces like this, like just things that happen in your day, like that makes you think about things. And so this was a funny one to end it on. Thank you for Harlan Richards. This is Wisconsin's pride. We rode proudly through downtown Wisconsin Dells, premier resort town of the Midwest, giving the tourists one more attraction to draw their eyes. It is not enough to warehouse prisoners beyond reason. The public must be allowed to gawk, gape at them, anonymous behind opaque windows, restrained by stalwart keepers. Every Tuesday, the DOC bus rolls through downtown Dells to give the city tourists one more attraction to draw their eyes. Exactly. Well, you know, different perspectives. Why am I'm clapping his stuff, not me. But
where is that prison? Do you know?
Well, I'm guessing it's near Wisconsin Dells by the story, but
Or the Dallas is on the way to.
it could very well be. I couldn't tell you where he was from, but you know, I've had enough of this woman here. I should call up another woman up here. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for, oh, this woman is so fine. And she's coming up with a feature and she can tell you all about it. Give it up for Robin Fine.
Robin, the seasonal Come New Year's, there will be some for show.
I haven't been on there.
Okay. I need you to look real quick.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I love my boss.
Hi, Robin.
Oops. Oh. I don't know what I did.
It's Wacky Wednesday.
I'm still a little hungover from last night.
Did you celebrate? I was just relieved.
Oh my God, we were at Mr. Kelton at 2:53, and then when all of a sudden people went berserk
Oh my God.
at 10:04.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. I'm kind of here today to tell you, hi. My name is Robin, and I am here today to tell you that I'm an addict. That was hard. My name is Robin, and I am an addict. A pincushion longing for every prick, a panting dog with dreams of liquid gold running through veins, that feral cat rummaging through garbage for the last bit of catnip. I am in love with a thing, breath grows shallow as dreams of liquid gold flow through my veins. I am in love. Mama always craved store-bought, Grandma only homegrown. She would always say, sugar, if you can't taste that deep, dark South American jungle dirt on the tip of your tongue, then your stash just ain't no good. You see, I'm an addict. Heart pounds like a racehorse in heat, hair rises up to me, goosebumps, throat wet with anticipation, skin on fire, razor blade, nerves sliced through muscles, scratching from outside in, must feed this hunger every single day. That sweet pungent odor permeates my lungs. If I could breathe it instead of air, I would. Hands shaking and clammy, I want to paint my body with it. I'm sorry. I came here today to tell you this. I am an addict, and I am sorry. I'm sorry for that ant infestation under the bed from the leftover chocolate wrappers. I'm sorry for selling your bowling trophy to buy last year's Halloween chocolate from Costco. I'm sorry for the embarrassment, those brown spots on your ass, the chocolate I took to bed with me last night. And I'm sorry for stealing all the Valentine's Day chocolate hearts from your office, then blaming the cleaning lady. You see, chocolate doesn't hit. It does not leave scars. It paints over the bruise marks, soothes the pain, fills the emptiness inside your heart. Chocolate does not judge when you screw up. Yeah, I am an addict. I must have it every day, flesh burning from inside out, firecrackers exploding in my belly, brains on fire, dancing and screaming. Oh, hell. Does anybody have a Butterfinger? So good. In honor of women, I'm a woman. Raggedy bitch. Words intended to kill you are too old. Your ticket has expired. No admission, just disappear. And they twittered and they tweeted and they chirped young hens unaware as she crossed the street with the stealth of a tiger eyeing her prey. Play first or swallow whole. This body is manufactured and patented by God. Full of hips and thick waist, a Rubenesque muse, breasts of flesh and blood. No saline, no plastic, no surgeon's wet dream. These jagged edges mapped across this face, my battle scars. This flesh, my body armor. I was born to fight. I bled so you could bleed free. You see, I am that quintessential woman, built for comfort, not for speed. Every fold, every layer, birthdays, anniversaries, lovers, and chocolate. Thighs bruised with permanence and resistance. You strive for airbrush size 0, but 0 is nothing more than 0. It has no value, illusion, unachievable. Will you teach your children to purge and cut? Your brain is on Xbox, washed away clean with easy pop-ups. Reality TV pours out of your veins, synapses strangled, a body cells drained of oxygen. So enjoy your come fuck me pumps, your nicotine-stained alcoholic stupor for your mirror will break. Nothing left but shards of ugly, and she handed them a mirror. The bouncer smiled, the door opened. It's nice to see you again, madam. This way to VIP. It doesn't have a name. Bob talked about it. A number of us were involved with Chicago Calling. There's a gentleman who I know that Jen is very, very involved with in putting out CDs and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. As Hardwick from England, and so for the past 2 years, I've done a collaboration with him. He sends me pieces, slices of poems. I send him slices of poems, and then we collaborate on something. So this is called Clutter. A bedroom filled with clutter. Drawers spilling memories, cascading reams of experiences, mementos reminding me of special times now forgotten, bulging with birthday cards, love letters cast aside, invitation to forgotten parties, poor ciphers for living flesh. They keep me warm at night, swarming through this lonely void between heart and bone, salving scrapes and hiding bruises, papers plastering open wounds, a quick fix to numb the aches and soothe my spinning head. Yet words blur as drawers, discord, sweet poison rising higher and higher and higher, flooding the room with stale champagne, half-rhymed sonnets, and too many stale tears. Years of spilt ink slowly blocking light, false reminders of things that never happened, people I never really knew, a life only unlived, now closing in, and I am caught. Drowning in the tide that rips and curls, dragging me under, teasing memories drift away, fingers reach to grip, slapped in the wash and swell that slurs and rises in walls of stories, whispers of broken promises. I need to breathe, to stand on hard ground, clear space, no more ticker tape fluttering in someone else's parade. I will rip away this life of clutter, tear away the surge of dead words. They were never true. Claw again once more towards light, exposing new flesh to pain, a phoenix rising, a new heart open for the taking. I will face me, uncluttered, wearing these scars with pride. Wednesday night at 10 o'clock or 10:30
At Elizabeth's?
Elizabeth's musical land. There you go. I've been asked to be a feature, so I will be, so come on out.
Awesome.
And the other thing is that there are a number of us on December 14th. There are a number of us that are here that are going to be participating in the Fine Arts Building Birthday Bash Festival.
And I was asked.
And a number of the people that I've asked are the same people that did it last year. And it's basically 6 to 7 poets every hour for 5 hours, about 25 to 30 poets. It's going to be slamming. It's going to be awesome. They open up the whole entire building. It's a party. There's booze. There's food. And we have the whole 8th floor to do poetry. So come on down. I don't even know if they put out an invitation, but keep December 14th. We'll be talking about it. So it's going to be a blast.
Fine time.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, she just asked me, she's like, you want to read this thing? Some of us, I'm like, tell me something about it. So I got to hear more about it now because I don't even know. So I'm free to go. And they're all in the chit-chatty way. So now I'm trying to figure out the next one up. I wrote down letters GPA. And I'm trying to guess what those letters mean. So, greater poet than Aristotle? Greatest poet of all antiquity? I don't know. Give it up for GPA, the poetic concept.
Okay. You know what? I've always dreaded that was going to happen to me somewhere. That I was going to trip and somebody's going to get it on film. But look, that's GPA. See what happens.
Surprise!
Right. So I'm glad I got this out the way.
I got it. I caught you.
Thank you so much. I was saying last night that GPA stood for greatest president alive. I was sitting there. I was just ecstatic. I was crying.
Thank God.
Man, I was, wow. You got to just understand. I mean, real quick, and I'm going to get on with the poetry. A lot of us who grew up with Harold Washington became mayor. Yep. And then repeated as mayor. You know, for us, those of us of color, no diss, nobody, but those of us of color, we thought that was it. Like, wow, you know, we got a black man. But then to see a dude who's from here do it twice, that's really hot. So, yeah, there we go. Let's get to the thing. There are women here tonight. Like, oh my God. Like, wait a minute, you don't understand. Like, I know y'all like, why is he saying that? And I'm like, nah, because it's usually like dudes.
Oh, exactly.
And I'm a romantic a little bit. So since you beautiful ladies are here, let me do something for you.
Uh-oh, here we go.
With every feral thrust of obelisk, more of myself I seem to give. Your screams are tinged with language vulgar, disagreeing with yourself between negative and positive. Over your shoulder you gaze at me, a blank stare. It is a slight smile combined with a contorted countenance that tells me I am right there. Meshed together as if we had been born or lived all of our existence. Forward, your face turns. And now with fingers creating indentations in your waist skin, I extend and stretch each thrust. Again, I extend and stretch each thrust. And as the passion overcomes me 1,000 times more, I extend and stretch each thrust. In similar fashion, you now motivate your movements backwards. The ferocity is sincere and similar to a meteor falling to earth. So now is I thrust, you thrust. When you thrust, I retort a thrust until we thrust in unison. We thrust in unison. We thrust in unison. Your body is not a statue because it begins to tremble, shudder, and quake. And no, Iron Man am I. My knees begin to buckle. I'm sure that I will soon break. And now the walls birth a pond, grow into a river, and mature into an ocean. And now there are oceans upon oceans. And I join the carnal concerto, the both of us ending in one final thrust. My poem.
Is that the one that you posted on Facebook?
I post a lot of stuff.
You just sent it to me.
I just sent it to you?
Was that the one that you just sent, you tagged me in?
No, that was
amazing.
that was
That was new, that was amazing.
yeah, that's from another book coming out sometime soon.
Wonderful.
But all right, let's keep it moving. I got a new poem. I got to debut today. I got to do it. My man Patrick is not a fan of. That's my main man. He's the feature tonight. Give him a round of applause. He's my main man. You know what I'm saying? He's not a real fan of my central stuff, but it's cool because I got other stuff. So here we go. It's another lady. I think she just left. She was back there, but it's cool.
There came a lot of other ladies.
There's a lot of other ladies. Walk with me on this one, okay? From this day forward, I plan to kiss you 1,000 times if you were more than wife, lover, friend, or woman to me. And if you question me about the details of each kiss, I could elucidate easily. If I were to describe the consummate contours of your lips touching mine to a stranger, it might bring said stranger to arousal's peak. For dear woman, I would rather kiss you 1,000 times than to waste those times on either to breathe or to speak. If I were to make love to you 1,000 times, morning, noon, night, 365 days a year, it could be easily said that my lust overcame my math. And you might ask me, fair poet, might you need a reprieve, and it would evoke from me a laugh. For it's foolish of you to believe that making love to you could ever have a limiting number. For I would rather make love to you 1,000 times rather to eat, drink, or slumber. But if the time ever came that we both were spent, the very aura of you would make me a volcano waiting to erupt. I would move to kiss you once more, make love to you once more, and then we would both realize that 1,000 times is not enough. My poem. Let me close it out. This is a true story. Happened to me. This Friday at Poetry's Love Letter, Let Them Eat Chocolate, 5306 North Damon, we have the...
No mic needed.
No mic needed. No mic necessary. Charlie Newman, we just had him on a radio show. If anybody's interested in being a feature or being on a radio show we host on Sunday nights, please contact me, Cotton and Soft Spoken Poet. I'll pass out flyers, so on and so forth. Thank you for having me. Let me get up out of here with this. As I was signing books in March at my book release party, I felt a giant hand on my shoulder. And when I say giant, it shook me, caused a little bit of pain. So I turned around, and this guy, he must have been about 6'4", 6'5", fair-skinned, dreads. He says, "Hey, how you doing?" And I said, "Hey, how you doing? Kind of rough there." He said, "Oh, you can take it." And then he called me by my name. He said, "Mark, I'm very proud of you and what you're doing. This is your third book. You've released it. That's really good. I've got the other two, and I'm glad I purchased 2 today. Would you sign them?" And I said, "Obviously, you know me. Who are you?" He says, "Oh, we went to school together a long time ago." He said, "You can call me CM." I said, "CM, oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Is that how you want me to sign him?" He said, "Yes." And so I did. He shook my hand. He said, "Mark, take it easy." And he was gone. We started Poetry's Love Letter in June 8th, I believe it was, and Cotton was the feature. And again, in the audience, this gentleman, I remember his name this time, so I spoke to him. I said, "Hey, CM, how are you?" And he says, "Oh, you remember my name this time." And he said it with a little bit of, like that smart aleck tone that people usually have with you, but then they chuckle and laugh it off, like that. And I said, "Of course. I hadn't known your name before, so of course I could call you by it this time." And he said, "Hey, good to see you again. Glad you started the open mic. You're really doing good for yourself. Maybe I can buy you a drink afterwards." I said, "Well, I don't," and he cut me off before I could finish. He said, "Oh, that's right, you don't drink anymore. Good job. What is it, almost a year of sobriety?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, keep up the good work. Very proud of you." He bought another book, bought Cotton's book, put enough in the host bag, the feature bag, bought something from Let Them Eat Chocolate, and at the end of the show, he disappeared. Like, poof, he was gone. My feature at Cafe Balu, my feature at Elizabeth's Crazy Little Thing, my feature out of town in Houston, my feature out of town in St. Louis. Each time CM was in the audience, cheering the loudest. He was cheering louder than some women, cheering louder than some relatives that I had. And he was always there at the end, shaking my hand, smacking me on my shoulder with those big hands of his. And I started to ask myself, is there something with this guy? Is he really just a fan of poetry? Is he a fan of mine? What's going on with him? But I said he buys books, so he can't be all that bad. October 31st, last week to be exact. A group of kids came in. It was my turn. We took shifts on Halloween, passing out candy in my family, so it was my shift. It's around 8 o'clock. Trying to watch Storm of the Century, so I paused it. 7 kids brought up big, different masks, variations of costumes. Trick or treat, trick or treat. And of course, I dispersed the candy to each one of them. And lo and behold, here comes CM. He had a costume on. I guess he was a werewolf. I know this was him because he pulled back the mask. And I said, "Oh, wow, CM, how you doing, man? Happy Halloween. Are these your kids?" And as the kids scampered away to parents that were waiting for them in the minivan, I realized that wasn't the case. And he says, "No, I don't have any kids. Mark, how are you doing on this Halloween? Trick or treat." I chuckled because I said, this grown-ass man is sitting here asking me for trick or treat candy. It's ridiculous. But I gave him some, I humored him. And he smacked the candy out my hand. I asked him, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And he swole up. He was already dwarfing me with his 6'4", almost 300-pound girth. But he swole up even more. And he said, "I'm here to tell you something tonight." I dropped the candy and I got in a defensive posture, ready to defend myself. He was at my home, by the way. And he leaned very close to me, and I leaned very close to him, fists clenched, ready. And he said, "The next time you wish to put me in a poem, make sure you tell the truth. I only failed the 6th grade once." My poem.
Awesome.
You're kidding.
The bully, the Bradwell bully.
I don't know how many times I failed, but no, it wasn't me. Although I probably am taller than them. Not quite 6'4"
That's
though.
Illinois.
I'm gonna miss it. Well, I'm not quite 300 pounds yet, although I might be taller than you if I tried. But anyway, I'm twirling around my little leg. Da-da-da-da-da. I think most people have gotten it, but I'm doing my little purple bag siren call. If anybody hasn't given anything for a phenomenal feature, we've got one more reader. I might read lithium upon our features request, and then we're going to go straight into the feature right after this. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our Miss Virginia Hunt.
That's good. You kind of cheered me up. I had a bad day at work.
Oh, but you're awesome now. Everything's good.
Oh, thanks. Anyway, before I get to my first poem, it's called Wings to Fly High. I'm actually I'm featured at a place known as the Art Colony this upcoming Saturday.
Oh.
It's from 5 to 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of early. So, and then I got featured here in February.
In February.
Yeah, and then the baby stages of being featured at the Mutiny in March.
Cool.
So it's bigger. So for me, it's about doing bigger and better things.
What is the Mutiny?
They have a reading at
The Mutiny
What's up in Square?
Yeah, thank you.
Yay! It's
west side of
Western.
Western, just north of Fullerton.
I'll give you all more details on the Mutiny show, like early 2013.
On the west side of the street.
Mutiny!
You're gonna have a rock band back in there?
I think it's on behalf of Queer Fest America, believe it or not. It's benefits, one of those things.
Awesome.
So anywho, I'm gonna get to my first piece. It's called Wings to Fly High. I don't think I've ever performed this here before. Struck down by hate, my wings broken in pieces, yet the pieces are close together, so then they can be healed in order for me to fly again, wear the stronger set of my once broken wings, healed by love from the hands of people who truly care for me and about me, ever so sincerely and honestly, because they've seen me just as hurt before in the past, so that I can fly high, soar to newer and better levels than those I was able to reach with the ace before being struck down by the hate, which could have so very easily killed me completely if it wasn't for love to save me and heal my two badly broken wings. So with this, I know I am human, just like everybody else in the world we all live in today. Because of my wings, once broken, but was given two newer and stronger wings to fly high and soar like never before in my life. So watch out, world. Here I come. I'm more ready to take on everything that you can throw at me. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Well, thanks. This is a little vulgar. It's called, a little more vulgar. It's called Wearing My Truth. Kind of self-explanatory. Just be proud to be yourself. It doesn't matter, like, orientation, whatever. The happiness that I have in my life today, it's because I am wearing my truth. I wear my heart on my sleeve and be honest with both myself and the whole world around me. Something that took the world so fucking long to see and feel and acknowledge that it's there in the first place. So on this, I am at my absolute best as me, because I only wear my truth, not some bullshitted ass-hat lie some may still feel. So to them, I say fuck them all. They're just the worthless pieces of shit I'm damn well better without. Because I wear my truth so properly, where pretentiousness bullshit, actions, and others all want to fucking vomit. When I should vomit at their dumbasses. But seriously, I wear my truth like I mean it. Just like whenever I truly mean everything I sincerely do and then say. Simply because I can't be any other being besides myself. And with this, I'm glad to be just wearing my truth. Thank you. Funny piece. I got to dedicate this one to Obama because I heard he got reelected. And some major ground is gaining in the LGBT community because there's an openly lesbian in Congress right now. If I remember.
Senate. She's in the Senate. She's the
gnarly.
Gnarly.
I mean, I didn't vote it, but I work too far from where I live, so I don't want to get into politics too much. So. But you know what? Obama's a good man. I met him in 2006 before he ran for president, believe it or not. A little claim to fame on my end. So this is for him. It's called The Finish Line. Before I pass myself through this finish line, I clearly see before my two eyes. I must admit to the public masses of my anxiety and also my darkest fears of such. Because the thoughts of quitting popped up in my head more times than not, as of this morning, as well as recently. But alas, I ignored those thoughts, like a truly stubborn person would do on a daily and regular basis. Because I taught myself how not to quit at the game of life. Despite everything life has ever given to me in my 30 years on earth thus far. So on this note, I emerged from my past a clearly true winner because I never quit on myself. Despite the endless number of times that I really wanted to quit from a World Series of painful events that very easily could have stopped at nothing at all to stop the fully complete present day me from crossing the finish line. Thank you.
Thank you.
She says, I don't want to talk about politics. And obviously, I don't either. I wear a button for fictional characters to be president. Apparently, I'm not really involved in that. Oh, who is John Galt? What? Exactly. So, since we were going to go right into the feature I wanted to read because, well, he probably didn't mean that much by it, but he actually called off lithium. When he called off at the beginning, I'm like, well, I happened to read that one earlier on, so I'm going to read this one pager. This is number 3 in the periodic table. I am reading this only because in 2 weeks, if anybody has nothing going on the day before Thanksgiving, come by here to the Cafe Gallery right here at Gallery Cabaret and have me for a feature where I'll read a bunch of things about the periodic table for you. But this one is called Lithium. I know I needed you around me. I was desperate. I know I wanted you in my life to calm me down. I know I needed you to stop me from my manic episodes. They told me it's not an addiction that I have with you. But then they told me that if I broke away from you altogether, I would cycle back to my psychotic, unhealthy ways. So please, don't tell me I'm crazy for wanting you. But I just couldn't stand being me. I just wanted to calm down. I was desperate for you. I wanted to feel normal again. You were the one to calm me down. But the thing is, you were the one that was also supposed to help me with my poor judgment and aggression. Because when I was with you, I felt like my blood was on fire. With you around, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat anymore. I felt dizzy with you. I felt tremors and twitching. You made me unstable. On the surface, you seemed soft to me with your silver white hair. With your lightness, I forgot how metallic you were when we joined. And now, look what we've become. When we finally got together, when we fused together, when we were finally ready to take each other in, we became the source of the most violent explosion. We became a part of a process, a preordained cycle I couldn't escape. We became radioactive and caused something so unstable that we destroyed everything we had. You helped me destroy everything that was me. Living. It's interesting to come up with poems for every element in the periodic table, but that's enough of that nonsense. Now I've got to tell you about this Water of Life publisher, who is going to be our feature for the evening. He actually reminded me that he was part of the group that would just sit together in the early days at Yammer around a table, and I'll do our readings before we actually had the mic. It was a huge thing before Yammer actually closed down here in Chicago. And this open mic host from Ruffled Feathers was one of the people that actually was like, we're going to have something that's really laid back. We're not going to have a feature. We're not going to ask for money, although this man deserves money. I guess you don't have to give money, but this man, I trust, deserves it. So this is this whole laid back, wonderful thing. And it was great to have him around for that. And it's actually really phenomenal to have him here. So ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for a phenomenal feature who has a ton of great books that you should buy right now. Give it up for Patrick Hurley. Come on! Woo!
So, hello. Thank you. Welcome. I used to have an open mic, and then they closed down. Gee, I'm looking for the poem, man. I just had it. It ran away. I'm serious. So I lost my journal, and fortunately, one of the poems I sent to GPA to ask him for his opinion on, and I found it so quick, and now I've just lost it.
And the thing is, if you ever want to know any poems from Patrick Hurley, you can always go to past open mics at the Cafe Gallery. While you're looking.
Yeah.
You can always go to the past open mics because we have them as features. They are downloadable MP4 files and they're available as YouTube clips. So you'll be able to get past stuff of his, which you should be searching for, which we're going to help you search for all of your ratings for as well, because you're awesome.
So I'll skip that one, sorry. So I'll do another one from the new journal. Freshly fired. Oh, and for my own benefit, thank you very much. Hold your applause. If you had felt like you wanted to applaud. He holds a cigarette, delicate as a rose petal between thumb and middle finger. Index gently touches the end. Ring finger feels the heat of the ember. It's the smoke that draws his attention. Ghost swirls from his lips, floating free to the universe. His hands limp, relaxed. His hold relaxed. The cost is known. Another day off the end. Another round in the chamber. Spinning the cylinder another day, less. It's cathartic. Passes the time. And with this life, without enjoyment, this slow decay, as the mind and the body begins to fold, as the weight of experience begins to push him down, he begins to melt into the floor, spread out within the universe, like Billy Pilgrim, become unstuck with time. Moments certainly felt like it. Moments certainly felt like it. And there was a certain aroma, the scent of a freshly fired round in the chamber. So from pull tabs and other things to stick your fingers through, my fifth book. First, there's waking up, realization, bless you, of a new day, beauty or tragedy, not knowing. The sun is shining. I'm going to start over. The sneeze.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Sneeze.
First, there is waking up. Realization of a new day, beauty or tragedy, not knowing. The sun is not shining yet. There is a bird on the ledge. First, there is coffee and more coffee with a chocolate chip scone. There is fog on the road this morning. More construction, always more construction. First, there is hearing sounds, indistinguishable sounds, then a brightness, then the outline of a face or shoulder or hip. It's raining on the road today. Windshield wipers are so inadequate. All is good if everyone keeps in their lane. Just keep in your lane until the rain subsides. First, there is a smile with sleepy eyes above hair shielding cheeks from sun, then the sensation of touch, fingertips soft on warm skin. Then there is holding tight, tight enough to remain through the day. Then there are cries of realization, weaning anxiety. Letting go is part of love. First, there is coffee with a blueberry scone and stoplights, stop signs, brake lights, heavy traffic, rushing, rushing, always rushing. The rain has stopped. There is a mist on the highway this morning, toll booths, correct change and exit ramps. First, there is the scent of hair, followed by the scent of skin. There are legs entwined, palm flat on the small of a back. There is pulling closer and pulling closer still. Readjusting bodies while readjusting lives. First, there is waking up. So yes, long ago there was a Yammer, and Lisa Heminger had a wonderful poem called Lake, and I used to ask her to read it to me while we were closing 4 a.m. bars, and she said no one day, so I went home and said, fine, I'll just try to write it myself. And this is what happened, and she and I used to do these in parody. Lake, your icy fingers crash on my spirit, pulling me in deeper than I know how to go. I kiss your soft belly as I am forever washed away in you. I leave my impression in your soft sand, and you hold it there, playfully tickling the edges, then erasing all in one fell swoop, one mad rush in. I give you flat stone offerings. They skip across your skin, joyful as a child returning home, and you take them in, gizzard stones in your belly. Lake, you hold my dreams in your long curls, rolling the shared visions within you. You are broader than I can see and deeper than I want to go. Still, you pull me to your depths, holding me there until I am cold in you. You explode before me, exposing your jagged edges, thrusting your icy fingers through me, turning me around in you, spewing me on your shores, then laying me down beneath your soft waters, smoothing my soul. Lake, beat me with your waters, whip me with your tides, subtle and slow, chasing the moon's pull, wanting to be an ocean, reflecting every image before you, hot, pink, soft fire, early morning sunrise, or shimmering diamonds on black velvet abyss of 2 a.m. darkness. I come into you, and you accept me without question, lifting me on your waves of joy. We ride each other through the storms. Lake, you do not tell of your secret shipwrecks. So many crying on your shores have caused you to rise. You hold my tears in your body. You are full from so much weeping. You do not easily give up your dead. I am here for you now, Lake. Take me to your belly. Grind me with your stones. Never let me go.
That's wonderful.
So I'll read one that I don't read that often, but to show range. Might I dance here a while, feeling the air, pushing the persistence, motion, not forced, rather let loose to expel potential as kinetic? Might you join me in breathing? Not there, no. It could only happen when there is, what was it, there? Just a moment, then push to the point where is it? Can it be that there was a time once? Do you? Please, place your thoughts over there in the wicker basket by the hearth where old newspaper, kindling, and thoughts of fire are to be kept. There'll be no dreaming. No, not now, not here. There will be, yes, over there in the wicker basket. That's right. Place it there for burning. It's that smell. Burnt wood, ash on hands, sulfur matches, and kerosene. But then, with shallow eyes looking into distant locations, with eyes darker than the void, with a sense for what you've seen and what could be between now and that time when, and I still see, what thought was it we had when shadows crept upon these fire winds, blowing back the palms, blowing back sand to glass. We evolve to our own decay. Those fire winds blowing back. Was it here that was it? Yes, place those thoughts over there in the box. The fire winds are blowing and the cat before me wants to play. Before this could happen, we had to be somewhere. Then all things could come together just at the right moment, save the chance, save the random eyelash leading to the blink, to the missed signal, the 20 casualty crash on your happy day, on your side of the road, your sunny spot delay. Save all your chaos in the closet, there, locked in an old military footlocker. Tomorrow your dreams will, blessed vision of peace, a vision only, yet blessed all the same. How hollow and ready to receive in its emptiness. Still early. Not there, not here, not these eyes had visions of a world once, much larger than the world today. This hazy world, this tomorrow, this, place it over there. Not here anymore. We've moved past that. We've grown up. Remember? Grown up. Like those we laughed at, or those we wished to be. Scatter splatter. Schizophrenic proverb, love has hate written all over it. The news of the day is the war is all over and arms sales are up, a big profit in prosthetics. Kitty cat outside my window roaring into the night loud. It cries, the crickets and the frogs, and nature itself is drowned out by the of my wind machine fan. Pushing and pushing those molecules of air around, pushing and pushing with the sound of an airplane's propeller. Flying like birds or dragonflies fly high in the air with no one there to steer. Just roaring into the night with a payload of weapons going to make the news today, national and international. Everyone will see it. Every 30 minutes I killed them all. I killed everyone all at once. Now roll those cameras. And the police beat me after they killed a cat in my front yard. It posed a threat. It was in the way of the wheels of justice, so they say. Then I told them, you'll never take me alive. The war's over and I have stock in prosthetics. And I demand justice, and you'd better read me my rights before and during my beating. Please let me sign something important after my fingers are broken. By the way, cop, don't trip over the fan cord. Hey, leave this noose around my neck. I don't care if it is the flag. It should symbolize my freedom to hang myself with it. What do you mean I'm on drugs? I am not. I'm a decent American citizen. I pay my taxes. I watch the news and all the hit sitcoms. And of course, those persuasive commercials in between. I don't need drugs, not when I have this great entertainment. What do you mean I'm not making sense? Of course I'm not making sense. You don't want me to make sense. Ignorance is bliss. And this is a schizophrenic proverb. Happiness. Water in a raindrop. Falling. Filling my imagination with a world of memory. A universe of smiles cast in front of unspeakable secrets. Shining moon pearl eyes staring into adventures never known. Happiness. Silver, shining dewdrop, poised on the needle of a cactus in a dry desert at morning, just after the birds stop singing their welcome sunshine song. just before the air is hot, when thirst is all that's on your mind.
Can we clap yet?
You walked and I ran and I ran and I ran. You were there, but I was not. But I was not. But I was not. Though distasteful and even disdainful, the events took place, the events took place, the events took, the events took, the events, the events, the events. There was nothing left to give, so nothing was left. And we gave more until there was nothing again. And we saw it for what it was, nothing. Then I walked away and you ran. I held out a hand you drew within, the fingers afraid to touch, closed. Then I walked away and you ran. What was it I was feeling then? That thought of emotion captured for a brief moment, then set free to the air, lost from my recollection of thoughts that I'd had on spring mornings when the sun arises in you to warm the petals of eager April flowers, excited about the prospects of warm rain, and days longer than nights when winter is put to bed for a moment, and the true color of skin is seen beneath the pale shadow of steel gray clouds grown anemic from life, then set free, then set free, then set free, to question the value of freedom. While I sat, you stood with eyes joined, their love removed, set aside for blindness. Here it is now, open before us. A smile that was thrown away has found its way back home. And what am I to do with it?
So I used to read at bars, lots of bars. I used to write poems at bars. When I read the poems at bars, I always stood at the bar.
Oh my God.
My heart at the bocce bar. Between you and me, there is a glass on the bar. The den of conversations we never had but listened to with longing. There are libations beyond our capacity to imagine, and every elixir we would dare to consume in an attempt to forget who we are and imagine a dream we had. Between you and me, our years kept to ourselves and brief moments shared with our favorite toasts. There's the love we long to share and the hatred we wish to escape but shared anyway, joking mannerisms. Between you and me, here, now, is a stale stench, the collected lives and longing which penetrates the back of our minds and returns with us to our hiding places. And here, now, dividing our skin are the shields we carry, the badges we adorn, displaying our successes, our failures, our tired lives, reaching out. Cheers to our desire. Between you and me, there is nothing but the wall of fear we build to protect the little jewel within. There is nothing but the gleam of perspiration on a hungry forehead, ready for food, afraid to eat. There is nothing but the evening we share with the intention to forget, and we never do. Between you and me, there is a glass on the bar. And I chose this glass to forget that I was what you chose to forget. So set them up again, drink them down again, because it's the time between now and last call that remains between you and me. All right. So, Water of Life Press. I have books. This is my 8th book, Screws Fall Out. Every book is unique. I print a lot on recycled paper bags. I'll be publishing Paul Farrell in the near future. And so I'll read the last pieces from Screws Fall Out. The perfect poem. What is the perfect poem? What does it take to give one the feeling, the emotion? Is it formed of love, love lost or gained, beating hearts or bleeding hearts? What forms the perfect poem?
Anger of political disposition, ranting and raving against the system, against the world and the state of your social status, spreading the hate you bemoan. How does one craft the perfect poem? Through clever witticisms, tongue-dripping imagery, humorous jibs and jeers, setting oneself up on a plateau while pushing others deep in the valley below. Or begging for the sympathetic savior to your self-deprivation. Does the perfect poem make us cry, make us laugh? Does it bring us to a place of empathy, a collective spiritual rendezvous in the ether of our hidden universe, and hold us there until we are all one? No. The perfect poem is born out of each of us when we conceive the idea, the thought, the emotion, and wrap words around that birth, then spew it out on paper or through voice in any language. Yes, the perfect poem lives within each of us. It is perfect in the nature of its being alone, and we are blessed by the experience of one sharing their perfection with us. Let us bow our heads, close our eyes, and embrace all who share their perfect poem. What is it with love? What is it with love? The touch, fingers on skin, lips gently joined, the flame of emotional surrender, the waking and naked happiness. What is it with love? The ability to endure bad breath, personality conflicts, folding daily drivel into mutual admiration. What is it with love that drives us, that pilots the course across rough seas, knowing in our soul the storm will subside and bring us to a calm shore? This thing, this emotion, this beast that dines on the force of life, controlling our future, setting our past in sandy foundations, yet we long for its touch, its promise of euphoria. Giving way to reason, we surrender to the moment, to the belief in the comfort of an embracing womb. It pulls us in and we accept. Let it flow through you. Cast aside the fear. Cherish the moment. These poems I give you, words, expressions, emotions, feelings, they are free and can be dismissed, but they will exist nonetheless. Take them, leave them, they are yours. So I generally don't give comment on poems. This one I've read here before, and it generally needs some sort of forward thing. If you're familiar with either the Alexander solution or the Gordian knot, there's a story about the Gordian knot tying a cart up in a village that Alexander was about to conquer. If you could untie the knot, then you could be the king. The knot's extremely complicated. Alexander ponders it for a night, comes out in the morning, takes out his sword, and whack. Done. So, Gordian knot, something very complex. Alexander solution, an easy solution for something complex. No Alexander solution for us. Your hair, delicately brushed above your ears by soft fingertips. Your hand on me, holding tight. I am with you, and I am happy. Our demons kept at bay for the evening. We are blessed with equality, humility, humbleness. Wrapped around each other, a knot of flesh, Gordian and complexity. Slowly, we dig out the folds and begin to love each other for real. For Nadia. Your eyes, looking up into mine, I tickle your tummy and kiss your feet. Smiles deeper than any ocean pull joy out of my dark shadows, sparking a light within the void. that holds the ankles of my soul down. And you, face aglow with the mystery of life and the energy of discovery, giggling at the raw simplicity of peekaboo. Soon, this world will dull the shine, rob the light. Hold that ember tight. Warm your spirit against the cold to come. We celebrate and welcome you. Janet, time?
You've got 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
You could do one more and I'll let you pass it.
All right. So, because GPA and so for GPA and cotton, nothing is everything. On the porch, my hands are cold, driven by the thought, the feeling of my thumb on your ear. Fingers touching the nape of your neck. We eat and drink and share ourselves open. This is where foundations are laid. Your hand in mine, under the blanket. Fingers dovetailed to comfort. This is comfort, satisfaction, simplicity, hand in hand, feet wrapped in a supple braid. I rest my head on your bosom. You pet my head, we relax. An evening spent doing nothing is everything. All right. So I have books I wrote from The Pain of Love and Loneliness, pull tabs and other things to stick your fingers through, Janet's favorite title. Screws Fall Out, and I have a couple other titles. And as mentioned, everyone in Paper Bag is unique. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're going to stay here because I think it was awesome. Please have one more round. Please have like, get up on my clapping time. You're awesome.
Sorry, I have to pencil out. That's what he gets for being double plus awesome. So thank you very much. Thank you. That was awesome. I get all the glitter. That's so awesome. Thank you very much. And now I'm supposed to tell you about future features. Well, all right. In 2 weeks, it happens to be the day before Thanksgiving. How many people are going out of town for Thanksgiving?
Not me. I'm working.
Not me. Yeah, it's like I'm going to be around. But yeah, if you happen to have nothing going on the day before in 2 weeks, that happens to be November 21st, 2012-1121. Depending on how you want to put it. I'm the feature. I'm coming up with, and this is why I did a thing about this things for the periodic table of poetry. I'll be reading unique ones never read before, mostly probably about death and explosions, because that seems to be what's awesome.
We have to do the 11th, 12th, and 21st elements.
I have to do my 11th, 11th, 12th, and 21st? Did I?
Go to the almanac online. And
11th, 10th was, I was trying to think of what was I just read, so I'll have to look at that, exactly.
Discovered, oh no, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'll have to think about it, definitely. And, as I said before, I have the ones that I've read up on a website. If anybody's interested in having a pull, I've already had one person requesting pieces from it, and that's double plus awesome. So, if anybody has requests for any poems that would be for that feature, that would be really awesome, and I'd appreciate it. And that's enough about me. And that's enough about, this month of November, because in December, on December 5th, we actually have Michael Hogue as our feature. Give it up for Michael Hogue. Yeah. And after that, which will be the last one of the year, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to have video recording for that, so you really have to come for Christine Swanberg for the feature on December 19th, because as I said, I'm not sure if we'd have video recordings for that, and it would be awesome to see everybody around. And as I had said before, if you go to chaoticarts.org/thecafe, you can look at the 2013 schedule, and if you don't have a date, Jeff Helgeson just took a date me into January, actually. So, I know, yay, Jeff Helgeson, he's double plus awesome. But if anybody's interested in anything, you can always go to chaoticarts.org/thecafe, and this open mic and this feature will be podcasts that are coming up with this as well. So if you want to know anything, always check it out online. And thank you all so very much. I look forward